Now this is one of these tools that I'd really rather not own, but okay, if you've seen some of the old videos, you remember we made the wooden rings out of veneer, and a lot of you have tried that and they came out really well, but some of you commented that you had a lot of trouble getting the wood to bend to make the ring. So in this video, we're gonna use this wood ID kit. This was the one, if you remember, sent to us from Sours Veneer. This is 50 different sheets of veneer. Some of them are the same species, just cut differently. And a lot of these are exotic woods. So this is gonna be a really good test of which woods can bend well. Now this kit I wouldn't recommend for making wood rings just because it's a little shorter than what I'd like. Let's see, it's 9 inches by 4 inches, and that's just like the minimum amount you can use to make a ring. I like a little bit extra, so the bigger sheets are good. And I'll put links to all this stuff in the description. But you can see here, this is what's included in the kit, and there's so many that I'm not going to show each one in detail. We're just going to skip through, but we're going to find out which one of these work really good, which ones are moderate, and which ones just to totally avoid. So if you do want to make these rings, be sure to check out the PDFs that are included in the last video. Also in this new PDF for this video, I'm going to show something called Janka, and it's the Janka hardness of the wood. How they measure the hardness of wood is they take a steel bearing about 1/2 inch, they come down on it with a press, and however many pounds of pressure it takes to embed this bearing halfway into the wood, that's the hardness of the wood. So when you see Janka on the PDF, the higher the number, the harder that wood is. All right, we're gonna start gluing these together, but before I do, I thought I'd mention this is the glue I'm going to use. You can find it on Amazon. I'll put a link to it in the video description. Also, instead of packing tape, I'm gonna try wax paper around a socket because I think it will release the rings a bit better. So this will be just like the last time. We're gonna skim through this and see which rings turn out the best. So here's a tip. It's always good to wear gloves when you're doing this, unless you're going to be super careful not to get it on your hands. Also, when you're pushing this socket out or whatever you used inside the ring, do not stick your finger in the ring right away, because that super glue is probably still wet inside, and now you just super glued a ring onto your finger, and that is going to be a bad day. Okay, well, we finished all the rings and they came out really neat, and I have a lot of stuff I want to share with you about those. But before we get into that, I wanted to read this viewer mail. This is from Mr. J, and he's got several questions. So I'm going to read those and then show you how to make a ring really quick without a lot of detail, kind of the Cliff's Notes version. But he says, first, when you sand one end of the wood, which end is it going to be when it comes to rolling it into the socket? 2, have you noticed which woods are best? So we're doing that now. I've made about 10 rings using different woods and seem to have the same issue. and they usually split at the ends. Third, what type of cloth should I use? And he's talking about you put the finish coat on. Where do I get it for the polishing in? And finally, so I guess this is 4, where did you get the type of glue you use? The Loctite I'm using is watery, however, it's not penetrating very well or drying quickly, and it is the only type I've been able to find. Thanks, love the videos, and can't wait to really finish my first ring. All right, so let's go through making a ring really quick. Now, if you haven't seen the other videos, I have a full, really long tutorial on how to make wood rings, and I show how to do the brass inlay. It's full, in depth. I've made a few changes on how I've done it since then, so this will be helpful for you guys as well, and you can apply these new techniques. So let me get the camera real close here. And we're not gonna make a ring, I'm just gonna talk about it really fast. Okay, so the first thing you do is you get one of your veneer sheets, and you can find out where to buy this in the description. You're gonna slice a section just a bit bigger than you want your ring. So then you have your strip of wood like this. You're gonna curl it into a cup with a bit of water at the bottom, microwave it until it comes to a boil. I just cut a piece of wax paper, and this came off the, this is the back of a sticker. That wraps around the socket like that, and then you curl your wood around that. And you do it pretty tight. And I just been putting it right on here on top of the lamp because it gets hot, and these dry really quick like that. So what you do now, like this, you're going to take off the rubber band and keep it on that same socket. Before I used to roll it on a smaller one. Then you're going to compress it by rolling it against this curl. Oh, and you had a question about sanding it. Yeah, so if you're going to sand the edge of this on sandpaper like that to get it tapered really smooth, it just kind of helps so you don't have as much work on the inside of the ring when you want to get rid of that lip, that's all. So when you roll it, if you're going to sand it first into a taper, that's the end you roll first, okay? So compress it by rolling and pressing down on the glass like that, then hold it really tight, and then put on some super glue, just enough to secure it. Okay, and make it just hold so it's not going to unravel, but you don't want to flood it. And then you're going to pop it off, and this is the super glue that I use. Again, it's in the description, and it works really well. Now you had a question about polishing, so let's do one right now. And some pen turners have contacted me and said, hey, this is pretty good. We just use paper towels, or you can get these automotive towels. And I just went to an auto parts store. And they have 2 kinds. One's $1 more, and this stuff has less lint to it. So keep the wax paper on. Let's see if I can fit it. There we go. Like that. And then you're going to want to hold it. I'm going to put some super glue on the end of here. And again, you can just use a paper towel. And you're going to want to go quick and rub it on. Don't hold it. Always keep it in motion. And that's it. And that'll help for the outside. To get the inside and the edges, you can take this off once it's dry. Oh, was I even on camera? Darn it. So here's another thing you need to know. Don't use the same spot. So just kind of fold it over and get a fresh part here. Soak it. Like that, just enough to last, and then you can do another coating and turn it and wipe. Anyway, there's a lot of people making pens. If you want to watch those videos, pen turning, they might have some better tips for doing a finish. So there's a couple giveaways last video, and this is the first one. This was the coping saw from Banggood. And I went through all the comments, and we picked a winner. It is Zelda Fan, and I think your name is Brendan. And so congratulations on that. Send me your address and I'll get that to you. Also the ring, if you could guess the message that was written on this ring. So we had a lot of you guys that entered that. But the winner to this one is F17 Flo from France. Congratulations. And the message on it was, it's a secret to everybody, but there's actually 3 others that came in right behind you so close that I felt I should probably give you guys one too. So I'm gonna make another ring for you guys with the Triforce, but I won't put all the writing on it because that actually took a long time to do. But the three of you were Killian from Munich, congratulations. Garrett from San Jose, California, congratulations, my hometown. And let's see, also Leonard from Germany as well, a couple from Germany. So congratulations, you guys, you all got it. I'll mail those out to you. What else? Oh, duh, the rings. So we'll start with this one here. This is Fumed Red Gum from Australia, and I really like this. It's got a really neat kind of chocolatey look. If you cut your veneer and it's got all these patterns in it, you might want to follow the pattern, follow the stripe. Otherwise, you can see how this stripe goes and curls up and then stops. See, the pattern's interrupted, so you can kind of see the seam, if that bothers you. Here's something interesting. Fumed red gum. The fumed is like a chemical process that they do to alter the color of the wood. If you look over here to this one, that's just straight red gum. So that's what the wood did look like before they treated it. And that's not a stain, that's the color of the grain. If you do a lot of sanding, it's going to be that color all the way through. So I really like that. It's really made a really nice ring. Okay, birch, great, worked fine, really solid ring. This is one of my favorites. Mozambique. Now this did not roll well. This was really hard. There's actually no polish on this at all. I didn't put any glue or anything on this, but this sands really nicely and you can get it to shine up without anything, but you should still seal this with some glue. When you roll this, it's going to kink and crack, but I actually don't mind that. In fact, I don't know if you can tell, there was a crack, a big long one, and the whole thing kind of slivered up. But I really like this one because it's super rough looking. It's not totally symmetrical. It's got some straight edges. So if you want like a really rustic, nice looking ring, I do that. It's going to be really hard to roll, but just go with it. Don't fight it too much. Try to make it perfect. This is my other favorite one, also from Africa, Zebrawood. I just really like this. I'll probably wear it. I really don't wear rings much, but this is really cool. I really like that one. So those are my two favorites probably out of all of these. Maple, there's a lot of maple in here. It's a hard wood, it's light, so it works well in the laser burner. Here's another one of my favorites, walnut. Always comes out nice, I like the color of it. With burl wood, you get all this crazy wood grain. Again, don't fight it. It kind of makes for a neat looking ring. You can see there's parts that are missing. You know, I think that's really neat. Gives it a lot of character. I'm going to make a very detailed PDF with all these little notes, but I just want to skim through some of my favorites here. This is another burl wood. So if I'm cutting a strip of this, I'll probably try to get some of the more interesting parts. You know, most of it's going to be covered up, so you're really only going to be exposing the last bit of the roll. It's a nice wood. Let's see, beech. Beech worked really well. It has such an even pattern to it. This one was really cool, super easy to roll like paper, and man, it just looks so clean, so nice, this pear wood. Rosewood, I like the color of it, I like the stripes, it's a nice wood there. But again, look at the PDF and find out which ones are going to give you trouble rolling it. You know, and again, don't fight it. Make a ring that's not perfectly straight, you know, got a few cracks or kinks in it, it's okay. Ash is a hard wood. Make baseball bats out of that. Another burl wood. This one's kind of boring because I didn't pick up any of the more interesting patterns, so you might want to consider that. This is Sen from Japan. That worked out fine. Mahogany is nice. It's a bit tough. This one's from South America. Red oak is a super tough wood, and this one rolls a lot easier than the white oak for some reason. Another maple. Oh, this one, Ambrosia Maple. Check this out. So Ambrosia is just, you know, it's any maple can be Ambrosia Maple. You see these holes there? That's, I think it's a beetle that got in there, and it brings in a bacteria or some sort of fungus or something that discolors the wood. So that's what that means. So ambrosia means it's been discolored by that invasion there. Mahogany, good. Teak, this one came out really nice. Teak's a good ring, I like that one. Pine is terrible, don't use pine, it's too soft. Most of these rings I can't crush with my hand. I could crush pine. Cherry was good wood, bird's eye maple, they all work. Let's wrap this up. So I hope I didn't leave anything out. I feel a little bit pressed because I got so much going on this week, but I want to hurry up and get this video out for you guys. I'll probably put pictures on either Google Plus or Facebook or both, so you can see all of these close up. So, you know, and with more detail, that way you're not just relying on the video that you saw here. Thanks for supporting me in this channel. If you do like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And you might think it's insignificant, but it really does help the videos. And of course, if you do like it, please think about sharing it, because that really helps as well. I'll make more of these. I have some more ideas for rings. We'll do some fancier things in the future. Check out the other ring videos if you do want to make these, because there's a lot of details in making it that I didn't cover here. Anyway, that's going to do it, guys. I'll see you next time. Hopefully it's really soon. My goal is to make one video a week at least. So I'm trying to change things in my life to give me more time to be able to do this. So thanks for all the comments and support. It's been a lot of fun so far, and I'll keep doing these. So take care, guys. We'll see you next time.